Hey guys, so this video is going to be about how to cross out wrong answers on the test. There's a surprising amount of strategy to this, so let me take you through it. Um, Now, most students, when they cross out a wrong answer, they tend to do this, what I did to A, or they tend to do this, what I did to B. Or maybe they do like an X next to it. And I'm going to teach you a smarter, better way. I've been alluding to it in the video so far, but I'll just clear it up and hit it very directly here in this video. So the smartest way to cross out a wrong answer is to cross out the exact part of the answer that you think makes it wrong. So let's say in D, let's say what I thought was wrong with it was I didn't like that period. So let's compare these crossouts from A, B, C, and D here. Only D tells you exactly what's wrong with the answer. The others are just saying, I don't like it. But sometimes we cross out answers just because we feel like it. It just feels good to get rid of an answer, less to think about. But that's not a good reason to cross it out. Whereas when you have to cross out the exact part of the answer that makes it wrong, it forces you to come up with a really specific, precise reason as to why this answer is wrong. Now, with words that make an answer wrong, we cross them out. Like that. But if it's punctuation, we underline it. And that's because if it's a period or comma and you cross it out, it's actually hard to tell if that was a period or comma after that. So with punctuation, we underline it. And sometimes, let's say I thought there should be punctuation after the word had on C, and there's nothing. Sometimes we underline the sheer lack of punctuation if we thought that's what makes it wrong. So you can underline a blank if you think there should be punctuation there. We underline punctuation and we cross out answers that make them wrong. Let's say on question 2, you saw in the previous video, we crossed out the South Campus because those words made that answer wrong. And used by photography students, that made that answer wrong. So you're crossing out the exact parts of the answer that make it wrong. This works on reading, it works on ACT science, it works in math too. In math, you might have 5 different equations of a circle lined up, and let's say you know that the radius part of the equation should be 4, because the radius is 2 and we're not 2 squared. Any answer that doesn't have 4 right there, boom, boom, boom. You just cross out that part of each of the answers that has that part wrong. And also crossing out the part of the answer that makes it wrong lets you compare the answers against each other really well. So if you ever get in a spot where you're not sure what to do in a question, hone in on what you think is probably the worst answer and cross out the part of that answer that makes it wrong. And now you've reduced your choices down to 3. And then, hey, if you found something that answer does wrong and another answer also does it wrong too, you can cross out 2 answers at once. And you hone in and cross out that exact part of each of those 2 answers that makes it wrong. So, by crossing out the part of the answer that makes it wrong, underlining punctuation, crossing out words, you leave a more intelligent mark of your thoughts. It forces you to have more precise thinking as to exactly what makes the answer right or wrong. And the other thing it does, by the way, is it leaves a nice record of your thoughts. So let's say we're looking at question 1. We know we don't like that period after memories. And you kind of look at A and B and C, and then you finally come back to D. If all I had done on D was do this, then I might not remember why I didn't like the answer. But if I come back to D and I see that, I remember in an instant, oh yeah, I don't like that period. So sometimes when we're thinking about the other answers for a while and you come back to an answer, you have to redo your whole thought process to remember why you didn't like the answer. But when that exact part of the answer is marked that you thought made it wrong, you remember your whole thought process about what's wrong with that answer in an instant, and you don't have to redo your thought process. So practice this, test after test. It's going to get more and more natural, and it's going to make you a lot smarter in the way you cross out your wrong answers.